Hey everyone, Matt from Soundrolling.com, and I thought I would just run you through my app now that it's on the iOS and the Android store. But there's a bit of lag, unfortunately. I've been updating it like crazy, but yeah, there is lag. So I think the version that's out now is like version 1.17, maybe 1.15, 1.13, depending on what device you're on. And currently, at the moment, I've just published version 1.23. So you can see that there's a lot of stuff going on. It takes a bit of lag time, but just wanted to kind of show you, I guess, features that are coming up. And yeah, just talk more about the app. Again, you can like download them at the site here. I'll put some magic link at the moment where you can download it if you haven't already. It's free. Did I mention that? It's free. So you've got no excuse really. 150 people downloaded it so far in 3 days. It's pretty good going. So let's get into it. Basically, we have obviously about the app. That's just general stuff, including this light-hearted thing about the temperature in Antarctica, which is nice. Then we've got the boom pole cheat sheet. Essentially, you can compare 125 different boom poles. Oh, and in favorites, you can compare over 130 boom poles by size, weights, and it's in metric and imperial and in all sorts of good stuff. And you also have this favorites tab at the top. So then if you wanted to save a couple, so let's say I also wanted to save the ambient QX, then I could press this little favorites button at the top, saves it magically, and then that's added to my favorites list here. And obviously if I wanted to go in and unfavorite stuff, it's as easy as that. So obviously comparing 130 boom poles can be a bit taxing, but now maybe a bit easier. I don't know. So now let's go into the camera cheat sheet. Very similar. You've got favorites. So I favorited the Canon 5D because it's everyone's favorite. Not really, just joking. And yeah, so then you can compare all sorts of cameras. I think there's 40 at the moment, and you can always submit a new one. If you click into any option, you get the option to request a new one, and that'll be emailed to me, and that'll be in the next update. So that's always good to know. And the manuals, so camera manual sections, this is just the sections that are to do with either fan settings, timecode, or audio settings. So for instance, C300 audio settings, and you can see that they're all kind of written down, even have little images that refer to the manual or can just help you in general in terms of figures and stuff, and this can all be manually updated because I essentially rewrote them from the manual, which is very, very annoying, time consuming, but just makes for an easier viewing experience. So there's no way to favorite them, but you can search at the top, or you can filter by category of camera. So for instance, if you want all the different types of settings for the Alexa, you just press it and then you go back and then it'll just have that. So moving swiftly on, I want to kind of keep this video short, but you know, try our best. Frequency finder, so you can submit new frequencies for wherever you are. This is ideally country based, although if it's specific to an island, a region, or you just find any useful tips, why not throw them in there? There's frequently asked questions like how to convert any frequency into US block number if you're from a different place and you want to know which block it would fit into and if that's legal. And then of course you've got the map, and so the map is obviously global depending on who adds. I encourage you, if you're from around the world, apart from the UK, these are the ones that I've managed to add on my own, just with references that are already online. But obviously the more the merrier, and there's a little button down here to turn it into a list as well, if you prefer lists or if you prefer maps. And it can use your location, so you can always zoom into where you are, and then using the buttons down here, obviously, just zoom out to see countries, close countries, that kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. Then moving on to post-production help. Started a thing because lots of people obviously ask me, or lots of people need things to do with like exporting. So for instance, exporting an AAF or OMF. And this is what all this is about, essentially. So you can export it from a million different things. Very useful, very easy to use. Syncing frequently asked questions. So syncing takes in Premiere Pro with timecode. So if people don't know what timecode is or how to do it, just send them to that. Recover corrupt or formatted cards. This is from a tutorial that I did already online, and this is where you can get the program. And yeah, I might do a random giveaway, so if you ever see below this article a long code, that'll be a promo code to get the software for free. So I'll be doing that probably this Sunday, I reckon. And yeah, so fun giveaways hidden in the app. How good's that? Sound chats. So, sound chats, I did 30 plus hours of interviews live, uninterrupted with sound professionals from Mark Weingarten, who did Interstellar, to Jeff Wexler, to Simon Hayes. And you can get those as a podcast version, a video version, or there's also all the sound chats because there are some written versions. The very latest one being from Walter Murch as well, which you got to ask questions to. Then we go on to sound events. This is obviously very new, only just started up. But essentially, if you have any events coming up in the near distant future, I can get those added, and then you could obviously see, look, the Soundrolling app was released for iOS on this event. And I'm even able with the app to update whenever. So if you just send me and tell me that there's an event, I can send an update straight to people's phones. That's obviously going to be very useful to remind them that the event is happening, so everyone can join up and have a good old beer. Then we go on to sound gear and firmware manuals. So this is all about, there's only sound devices, Zacom, Zoom, and Roland at the moment, so let me know which ones you use, just because these are the first ones that I found, and if people wanted to know more, then I'm very happy with them to submit. So, for instance, the 688, you can see the version number is 3.11. Click into that, and you get a link to the firmware page to see what's the latest on the firmware in terms of updates, and you get a link to the manual, where you can download the manual as a PDF. It'll show straight up on your phone, and this makes it faster than trying to load it into the app, because it'll slow the app down. You can also request a new listing here. So that's kind of that. Gear sales and rentals. So you can see at the moment that this zooms in automatically to 100 kilometers of your location, which is useful for finding gear sales and rentals. So there's last minute rentals. Zoom in and we can see here that we have quite a lot. So you can see where I am in London. You can see over here that we have Better Sound Ltd. So then when you click into that, then obviously you get their phone, you get their website. All the phone numbers have been done by country code as well. So if you're in a different place, you don't have to know the country code, you don't have to know anything. You just press the number and then you would obviously go into calling them. And it would work on any phone because if you're in the UK already, it would already know, so it's fine. It doesn't cost you anything extra. And if you're from abroad, that is sorted out as well. So doing all the legwork, trying to do as much legwork as possible. Then finally we have YouTube at the bottom because I'm kind of going in alphabetical order. We have just all the latest YouTube videos I've done, and obviously the next one to be added to this list is this video in a crazy matrix paradox. And we have a playlist which is just all the videos that I've done, which is jamming timecode to different things. So they're obviously all in the camera manuals as well, but if you just wanted a playlist of all the videos, then they are there as well. And that pretty much covers it. So that's it for version 1.22, I think. Come a long way already, getting lots of good feedback. Feedback is the key. I need to know if the app is shit, essentially. I need to know if the app is good. And the more you let me know, essentially, the better. So, yeah, that's about that, really. Yeah, just making sure I'm in focus. And the sun is out, so probably going to go to the gym now or something. Cut my hair so I'm not wearing a silly hat anymore. Try to cut it myself, didn't really work. Horrible stuff. So, let me know in the comments anything you would like to see. Otherwise, you can get the app for free on iOS or Android. And yeah, look forward to hearing your thoughts and seeing what you think. All right. You can always like this video, more people will see it. You can always subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you later on the app.